Here's the $1,000,000 question. Are you the type of person that has some goals, short term, long term, has some big dreams, and for some reason, you just haven't achieved them yet? Or maybe you don't feel like you're making a lot of progress towards them. And if that's you, you're definitely in the right place. My name is Rob Moore, award-winning author, leadership expert, and founder of therobmoore.com. And what I do is I help people become better leaders so they can get the people that they lead to perform better no matter where they are or what they do. And basically, the reason why I'm shooting this video is because of quite a few thoughts that I've been having over the past few weeks. And it really all started a couple of weeks ago. I really got to thinking. I was listening to a lot of different things. I've been reading a lot of books. I've been listening to a lot of audio programs. I've been following a lot of people that inspire me. And it really, really got me thinking. Because I asked you that question because I'm in that boat with you. If you're the type of person that, relates with the question that I asked at the beginning of the video. I've accomplished a ton of things in my life, but I was just thinking about like my big goal, my big dream. And, I've been working on this thing for quite a few years now, and it hasn't happened yet. So I really got to thinking with all this stuff I've been going through the last couple of weeks as to why that's not happening. So I had that experience. And then today, I was on Facebook because I just started this really cool Facebook group, that I encourage you to apply to join if you're the type of person that wants to become a better leader and or learn how to become financially free. If that's you, you definitely want to go to that group. The name of that group is the Show Up, Step Out and Shine Empowerment Mastermind Group. We're very strict and very selective as to who we're going to be letting in this group, but this video is not about the group, so let me get back off of that. But anyway, I was on Facebook, just going in there doing some interaction with this group because I literally just created it and started it yesterday. And this morning I put I put some quotes on there. I like to put some kind of inspirational quotes that I come across at least once every day, because I like to look for things that inspire me. And if I see things that inspire me and get really in tune with my heart, I like to share those with other people. So I did that this morning. I think I actually shared a lot more than I usually do. I think I put up like 3 or 4 things. So, I'm not going to give away, one of my friends' names. I'm going to keep this totally, confidential. But, this guy's a real cool guy, does some really cool things for a living. But for some reason, every time I post something, where, it's something that's supposed to inspire people, he kind of has this comment like, that's really nice, that's really cool, but it's not possible. Or it's really easy to say, but it's a lot harder to do. He probably says that last sentence more than anything else. It's easy to say, but it's hard to do. And you know what? That's true in a way. But once I heard that, because I think I've literally heard this from this gentleman probably at least 5 times. And I was like, you know what? It just made me click, and it reminded me of a whole bunch of things. It made me realize why I haven't achieved that big dream that I've dreamed for years. It made me figure out and understand exactly why I didn't get there yet. It also reminded me of why and how I was able to accomplish all these big successes that I had in my life and in my past. And a lot of these big impossible type things that I accomplished, to me personally, they really seemed like they were easy. But there's a reason for that, and I'm going to get to that. Just stay with me. I just want to share a little bit of background. But then that also triggered some other things, in my mind, some other memories that came up. Like when I was working for Price Chopper as a store manager, one of the biggest, first of all, I was a very different type of manager than all the other managers in the entire company. I was the type of manager where I focused more on the people and exactly what the people were doing, what they were feeling, and what they were thinking, and really working on getting that stuff right rather than focusing on company policies and procedures. That stuff's important, but what really makes a company successful, what really makes an organization work, is the people that are in there. Without the people, there is going to be no success. Without the people, the policies and procedures are useless, in my opinion. So when it made me think back to all those experiences where I was working one-on-one with a lot of different people who were struggling or having difficulties in their positions and in their jobs, a lot of things I remember was a lot of it had to do with the fact of their language patterns. So if you say that you can't do something, guess what? You shut your brain off completely and you really can't do something, and that can't becomes true for that person. But at the same time, you can have another person in the exact same situation who says, I can do that. Guess what? Their brain shifts and looks for all the ways that they can do it. I don't know if I really want to go into this on this video, but basically, it all comes down to the fact that in our brains, we have this thing called the reticular activating system. And what it does is whatever thought you have, it's going to make that thought true. So if you believe that you can't do something, this reticular activating system is going to fill your head and your mind and your brain with all the information to prove that what you say is true. So if you say that you can't do something, your mind is going to show you and explain to you all the reasons why you can't do it. But at the same time, if you say you can do it, that reticular activating system is going to show you everything to prove to you that you can do it. So when I was working with all these people at the job, I would always help them correct and retrain their language patterns. This is something that I don't know about other companies, but nobody in my entire company talked about this stuff. But it's extremely important, and it is so true. So I was always constantly working with people on their language patterns. And then the other thing that ties in with that, and really when it comes down to this whole video, the reason why I didn't achieve my dreams yet, the reason why, if you can relate and if you do have some goals and dreams that you didn't get to yet, it really all comes down to one thing. I don't believe that I can get my dream. You don't believe that you can get your dream neither. Or you don't believe that you can get your goal. That's the bottom line. That's the problem. And when I really started to think about that over the last couple of weeks, with all the things that I've been listening to, all the things I've been reading, and just really contemplating, this reminds me of something else that I want to talk about on another video that ties in perfectly, but this is too much information, so we'll put it on another video. I really see it. I can understand it. I can see it as clear as day that, at the end of the day, yes, I do really want that and I want it really bad, but it's so big. It's so scary. It's almost so impossible that when I really think hard about it and contemplate on it, I really, really don't believe that I can do it. For the first time in my life, there is something that I want, and I don't believe that I can do it. But that is no longer true, because as soon as I came to that realization, I know exactly what to do to fix it. So I've already been working on it. And it really didn't kick in until like 2 days ago, literally. So now I really do believe that I can get my dream. And we'll talk more about that in another video. But it really comes down to, you have to believe that you can do it. You have to believe that it's possible. You have to sell yourself on that goal, on that dream. And the reason why I was having such a big challenge with it, even though I've done so many wonderful and great impossible things in my life, is that I look at where I am now, like, which is like right here. Let's say right here, for example, and I want to go from here to like here. And sometimes what I've learned is that's what causes a big problem with a lot of people, like really struggling to figure out if they really do believe they can do something. Now, if you're here and I have a goal to get here, that's a little easier to believe. And then you kind of go like that. But I'm a big thinker, I'm a big dreamer, and I go all out. So I'm kind of here and looking at this, and that's why I was having such a hard time realizing that it is possible and that it is something that I can do. So you have to work on your belief. Without belief, nothing is possible. You know, I don't know if you ever heard that quote from, I think it's Confucius. But I didn't hear it from Confucius. I heard it from Will Smith. That's somebody who really inspires me. He says that, well, Confucius says that if you believe that you can, or that you believe that you can't, you're right. So whatever you believe is going to happen. Whatever you believe is true for you. So how do you get yourself to believe? Man, this is going to be a long video. I'm going to just give you, know what? There's another video that I just did yesterday. That 3-step process of setting a clear intention. Your clear intention is your goal. You know, that can be your dream. And then the second step was to believe it. And how do you believe it? Is you gotta speak it into existence. You gotta talk as if it has happened already. You have to focus on it. You have to act as if you have it already. You have to act as if you have it already. You have to constantly talk to yourself and tell yourself every day. And I think in that video I shared probably the 2 most powerful ways of doing it is to really say it with conviction to yourself before you go to sleep and as soon as you wake up in the morning, because those are the times where it's so much easier to impress the subconscious mind. So if you really follow that process, you know, clear intention, and then you work on your belief level, and then once you have the belief level, it's going to help you take the action. So that 3-step process right there, if you just do it over and over and over and over and over again, you know, you're going to sell yourself on it. And one day you're going to wake up and you're going to be like, I freaking really do believe it with 100% conviction. And that's what you need to do. Now, before I cut this video off, I just want to share really quick, because this is the type of thing that really gets a lot of people off guard. And I have to really fight myself and remind myself every day to work on what I'm about to show you. You see, the main reason why things don't happen for people, like I said, it's belief. But like when you start, like today, let's say you decide that you want to hit a certain goal, right? And you get clear on what you want. And then you start to work on your belief and you start to take action. You know what's going to happen most of the time? The first day really equates to, this is like a bowl that I drew up here. That one action for that first day, that first moment is going to be like a small drop of water in a cup. So let's say that in order for your goal or your dream to be accomplished, you have to fill up this entire cup. What most people do is they know what they want. They start to believe it a little bit. They take a little bit of action, and 2, 3, 4, 5 days, we'll say 6 days goes by, and nothing happens. Nothing, they don't feel any different. They don't feel like their belief is stronger. They don't feel, and because of all that, they don't feel like taking more action. And then they don't do all the things that they're supposed to do. This is why that happens. Because you have to fill up the cup before you can fully believe it and manifest it into existence. And when people start to do all this work and not see results and then start to back off, those drops are starting to dissolve and go away. So the key is to keep going no matter what. Just keep the end in mind, focus on it, state your intention, focus on it, especially before you go to bed, especially when you first wake up. Work on that over and 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 over again, regardless of what you see in the outer world. You have to keep going because you have to get everything right inside first before it can happen on the outside. And the more that you work at the intentions and the belief and the action, the faster you're gonna fill up the cup. And before you know it, you'll manifest it. But that's the main reason why people don't get what they want. They expect instant gratification. They expect things to happen right now. They expect things to be easy. You know, there's so many stories that I can share with you right now, but I'm going to have to save them for some other videos because I just don't want to make this video too long. I don't even know how long it's going, but it's already too long. But this right here is the main reason why people don't get what they want. And as I sit back and I think of all the things that I have done, that I can really sit back and be like, wow, Rob, I don't believe you freaking did that. Or, wow, Rob, you should be really proud of yourself. That was freaking incredible. I can think about this process I just told you. And the more desire that you build, you know, the more that you want it, the more that you emotionally and just really like get so fired up and just want it so freaking bad, you don't even pay attention to not seeing the results because you're so focused on what's going to happen that time's going to go by so fast and this cup is going to fill up so quick that it's going to manifest quick. So it really depends on how much do you really believe it, how much do you really want it, you know, and how much action and activity are you really worth or that you're really going to put into it. You know, how much are you willing to go after this thing? That's really what it takes to get what you want. And that's really the main reason why people don't get what they want. So before I let you go, let's just recap really quick. If you have a goal, if you have a dream, and it hasn't happened yet, the number one reason why is because you don't believe it. You got to work on the belief. You got to get clear on what you want. You got to believe it. You got to take action like there is no tomorrow, regardless of what's happening in on the outer world, because everything's got to get in full alignment on your inner world first before it will manifest into the outer world. And you have total control over how fast you manifest things and how fast you get to that goal or dream. It's really up to you. It's really about how much do you believe it? You know, how much do you really want it? You know, is it a must for you? Is it a life or death situation? Like, if I don't get this goal by this date, I'm going to die. That's really what you got to be thinking about. But it really comes down to how much do you believe it and how much do you want it. That's my tip for today. I think that video went a little bit too long, but I hope you got some value out of it. I don't know where you're watching this video. I don't know if you're watching it on YouTube or my website, but either way, there should be some links under this video that I want you to click on right now, pick up some free gifts, and go from there. Hey, my name is Rob Moore, reminding you to show up, step out, and shine. Now is your time, so make it shine. Thank you very much and have a fantastic day. Catch you later.